Hi there, film enthusiasts. Welcome back to another episode where I question my life choices by watching films that make me want to scream into the void. Today, we're diving into Dragon, a film that asks the profound question: what if we made a movie where logic goes on holiday and just never returns? This Tamil movie follows Ragavan, whose nickname is Dragon. That's where the movie title comes from. Dragon, or Ragavan, is a bloke who transforms from a model student to an absolute menace faster than what you can say character development. That's just the beginning of a roller coaster of a movie that just goes from bad to worse. So grab your suspension of disbelief and chuck it out of the window. Logic has no place here, okay? Just join me as we unpack this feature-length fever dream that somehow has positive reviews. Am I just living in an alternate reality? Well, let's find out. Let's start with my criticism of the movie. There is no plot. The logic has no place here, as I said. Picture this. A disciplined student with 96% marks suddenly decides, you know what would be great? What if I become an utter jerk overnight? There is no explanation, no gradual change, just boom. New personality from one day to the next one. After getting dumped by his girlfriend, Gertie, who frankly deserves a medal for escaping that shitty relationship, our protagonist decides that the reasonable response is to commit fraud. As anyone does, right? Ragavan, who's a bloke who couldn't pass a single engineering paper, suddenly somehow becomes a wizard through the power of, well, absolutely nothing. Nothing is explained in the script. The guy is supposed to be a good for nothing, but suddenly he's out there like being this brilliant programmer. Anyways, so he pays this consultancy for a fake degree, aces a fraudulent interview, which by the way is one of those crazy things that he manages to succeed, and then he somehow wins 3 consecutive Best Employee Awards. Like, it makes no sense. Anyways, just when he's about to marry into a wealthy family, his old principal from the school he abandoned shows up with an ultimatum. You have to pass your exams or you will be exposed. Well, if this makes no sense, yes, that's the point, right? The plot isn't just full of holes, it's essentially a colander masquerading as a screenplay. Now, let me talk to you about the protagonist that is a walking contradiction. Let's talk about Ragavan. He's not just the protagonist, he's also a masterclass in how not to rate a main character. The actor didn't help at all. His face is just as emotional as a potato, and the emotions he makes you feel range from annoyed to even more annoyed. This guy is the poster child of toxic masculinity, wrapped in a package that the film desperately wants you to root for. He is jobless, lives off his parents, abuses his partner, and he has the audacity to blame her when she finally comes to her senses and leaves. And then, suddenly there is this redemption arc, which arrives with all the subtlety and careful pacing of a freight train. After one teary scene later, apparently, are we supposed to forgive everything that this guy did? Are we supposed to keep rooting for him? I've seen more convincing character development in adverts. The actor, Pradeep Ranganathan, delivers a performance so flat that you could use it as a spirit level. His emotional journey feels less like a roller coaster and more like just like a slightly bump in the pavement. But it's not all doom and gloom though. George Marian, who plays Ragavan's father, delivers a genuinely touching performance. I think he's the only one who is like the redeeming character in this movie. There is one scene that actually just made a lot of sense emotionally, and that's when his dad finally stands by him after everything that has happened. There is another point that I would like to criticize this movie for, and that's that the women in this film deserve better scripts, better roles, and frankly, better male leads to act against. They are just reduced to a plot device serving Ragavan's journey. And I know the movie is about him, but the women feel just there to serve him, which is annoying. This movie, just following the Indian tradition of movies where physics basically make no sense, this is not an exception to it. Just remember, I don't know if you've seen The Matrix, but when Neo fights all those agents in The Matrix, well, this movie just takes us to the next level. And it's just like saying, oh, let's do that, but let's make it even more ridiculous. Our protagonist, has shown zero combat training, suddenly channels his inner John Wick and takes down 10 blokes without breaking a sweat. The laws of physics don't just bend at the seams, they just snap like a Kit Kat. These action sequences are not only implausible, but they're also a personal insult to Isaac Newton. I kind of expected this movie to end with Ragavan or Protagonist flying into space, given how little regarding it has for reality. And then the final message. After 2.5 hours of romanticizing bad behavior, the film suddenly remembers it should probably have a moral. So it just hastily tacks down a "don't cheat" message that feels as sincere as a politician promise. The film spends 95% of its runtime glorifying the protagonist's awful choices, then expects a last-minute lesson to make everything alright. It's like when you go to a restaurant when there is a buffet and you eat all the plates, but suddenly at the end you decide to have a Diet Coke, claiming that you're still on a diet. In conclusion, Dragon isn't just a bad film. It's a genuinely baffling experience that has left me questioning my grip on reality. And that is because the positive reviews these films have received makes me wonder if I accidentally just watched a different movie altogether. Or perhaps I just slipped into some parallel universe where logic is completely optional. I have to say this, if you enjoy films where you completely need to shut down your brain, or you're conducting research on how not to write character development, then maybe, just maybe, there is something in this movie for you. For everyone else, my verdict is simple. Skip it. Don't watch this thing. Life is too short and there are too many good films out there for you to not waste 150 minutes on this completely annoying fever dream. But hey, I understand, different strokes for different folks. Maybe it's just me who doesn't get the hype. Maybe I'm just missing something profound beneath layers and layers of cringe and illogic things in the movie. Or no, maybe this film is exactly what it appears to be. A poorly written, badly executed mess that somehow made it into the screen. And that's all for today's review. If you've seen Dragon, let me know in the comments if I'm being too harsh, or if you too felt like you were living in an alternate reality when you watched this movie. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more reviews where I question my sanity for your entertainment.